Imagine a floating city, a behemoth of steel and purpose, slicing through waves with the weight of a nation's might. This isn't just a boat, it's a fist of power, ready to strike from the sea. Jets scream off a runway barely longer than a football field, catapulted by steam in mere seconds. It's not science fiction, it's an aircraft carrier, the ultimate chess piece on the global board. Park one of these monsters just 14 miles offshore, and you've got a front row seat to any coastal conflict. With 80% of humanity hugging the coastlines, these floating fortresses become instant game changers. Only 19 such ships exist worldwide. The United States claims 11. Bragging. It's a stark reminder of naval supremacy, a floating insurance policy for global stability. Each carrier is a small town with teeth, housing over 6,000 souls. That's an entire community, armed to the gills and ready for action at a moment's notice. But here's where it gets wild. These beasts don't run on ordinary fuel. They're powered by the atom itself, nuclear reactors humming deep in their bowels, allowing them to sail for a quarter century without refueling. Yet even atomic juggernauts need snacks. You can't munch on uranium after all. That's where the real magic happens. The art of 8C resupply. Picture this. Massive supply ships gliding alongside, matching speed in a deadly dance. Fuel hoses snake across the gap like steel pythons, while pallets of goods zip across on high-wire acts. Sometimes, when the seas are too rough, helicopters take flight. These airborne forklifts brave howling winds to deliver everything from missiles to Oreos. It's a logistical ballet that would make Amazon blush. Speaking of mail, each American carrier has its own zip code. You could literally send a care package to the middle of the ocean, and it would arrive in 10 days flat, even if that ship's prowling near North Korea. On deck, it's organized chaos. The runway's a mere 300 feet, like trying to land a jet on your neighbor's driveway in a storm. With explosives strapped to your wings, how do they even get airborne? Steam catapults. Massive slingshots that hurl jets from 0 to 150 in 3 heartbeats. It's enough G-force to make a roller coaster weep. Landing's even crazier. Steel cables snatch planes from the sky like Spider-Man catching runaway buses. Miss the wire, and you're taking an unplanned swim. Every soul on deck wears a shirt that's color-coded for survival. Purple means fuel, red handles weapons, yellow directs traffic. White saves lives when things go sideways. There's no room for mistakes. Every movement, every shout, every breath is part of a lethal ballet. One misstep, and people die. It's that simple. Space is at a premium. Some crew members go weeks without seeing sunlight, working in the fluorescent-lit bowels of this steel beast. Even the mighty flight deck can't house all the planes. So massive elevators plunge aircraft into the hangar below, like coffins awaiting resurrection. Below decks, it's a hive of constant activity. 3,000 run the ship itself. Another 2,500 tend to the aircraft. The rest, they keep the whole floating city alive and kicking. Most sailors get a single bunk. No view, no privacy. Just a metal slab in a room full of snoring warriors. Officers fare slightly better, but space is always the enemy. Yes, there are stores, gyms, even barbers. But everything, every square inch, bends to the will of the mission. There's no room for luxuries when you're carrying the weight of global security. But here's the kicker. These floating cities aren't always at war. Sometimes, they just cruise. Silent, massive, visible from space. A not-so-subtle reminder to the world, we're here. Try us. The U.S. keeps at least one carrier at sea almost constantly. It's power projection in its purest form. It's a floating exclamation point that says, think twice, and they're fast. A carrier leaving Virginia could be in the Persian Gulf in a week. One based in Japan, it could reach Pyongyang in just over a day. Yet for all their might, carriers aren't invincible. They're massive targets. What? One well-placed hit could mean more casualties than entire wars. War games have proven this harsh reality. Twice, in simulated battles, enemy subs slipped past defenses. Silent, deadly, close enough to land killing blows. So while these floating cities seem untouchable, they're not. They're titans of the sea, yes. But even titans can fall. And yet nations keep building them. Bigger, faster, more advanced. Because in a world of uncertainty, one truth remains. Power still floats. These carriers shrink the globe, projecting force across vast oceans in days. They're mobile air bases, bringing the fight to any shore. But are they dinosaurs? Magnificent relics steaming towards extinction? Are they still the ultimate power play in humanity's arsenal? The debate rages on. As technology advances, so do the threats. Hypersonic missiles scream through the sky. Drones swarm like angry hornets. Yet carriers adapt, they evolve. New defense systems, better radar, smarter tactics. The chess game continues, with higher stakes than ever. Inside, life goes on. Sailors celebrate birthdays under steel skies. They watch movies, work out, write letters home. The flight deck never sleeps. Jets launch and land around the clock. The rhythm of war and readiness never ceases. In the CIC Combat Information Center, screens flicker with data. Every threat, every friendly, tracked and analyzed. It's the carrier's brain, always alert. Deep in the ship, nuclear reactors hum, engineers monitor dials, ensuring the heart of the beast beats strong. Above, on the bridge, officers scan the horizon. They're responsible for 6,000 lives and billions in hardware. The weight is immense, but so is the pride. To serve on a carrier is to be part of something greater. A floating piece of sovereign soil, ready to defend or strike. As the world changes, so too must these steel giants. They're experimenting with unmanned aircraft, pushing the boundaries of what's possible. Each new class of carrier brings innovations. Better catapults, stealthier designs, more efficient power systems. The evolution never stops, yet the core mission remains. To be ready, anywhere, anytime. To deter aggression by their very presence. In times of peace, they bring aid. After natural disasters, carriers become floating hospitals and relief centers. Their flight decks launch helicopters full of supplies. Their kitchens churn out meals for the desperate. Power incarnate becomes a lifeline. But make no mistake, these are warships first. When diplomacy fails, when threats loom, carriers answer the call. They've launched strikes against terrorists, dictators, and rogue states. Their jets have flown missions over Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria. Each sortie is a testament to precision and power. From planning to execution, it's a symphony of violence when needed. Yet for all their might, carriers are vulnerable. They rely on a network of support ships, submarines, and aircraft for protection. It's a constant game of cat and mouse. Adversaries develop new weapons to threaten carriers. The Navy counters with new defenses. The cost is staggering. Billions to build, millions to operate. Each day at sea burns through resources at an alarming rate. Critics argue the money could be better spent elsewhere. On cyber defenses, perhaps, or space-based weapons. The future of warfare is changing. Proponents counter that nothing matches a carrier's flexibility. No other platform can deliver so much firepower so quickly to so many places. The debate will rage on. As long as oceans cover the earth, nations will seek to control them. And carriers remain the ultimate expression of sea power, so they sail on. These floating cities of steel and purpose, ready to unleash hell or offer hope, depending on the world's needs. They are more than ships, they are symbols. Of power, yes, but also of a nation's reach and resolve. In a world of uncertainty, carriers offer something concrete. A mobile piece of America, ready to influence events on a global scale. Love them or hate them, aircraft carriers remain a force to be reckoned with. Dinosaurs, perhaps. But dinosaurs ruled the earth for millions of years, and as long as nations seek to project power across vast oceans, these steel leviathans will continue to sail, silent, watchful, ready, for in the end, they represent more than just military might. They are the physical embodiment of a nation's will and capability to act on the world stage. So the next time you hear of a carrier deploying, remember, it's not just a ship setting sail, it's a city of power, a nation's fist, punching through waves towards an uncertain horizon.